The other day I was thinking about making a video on grimoire builds or something when I found out about Tome Mods, which I initially thought were just a variety of stance mods or something, completely ignoring the fact that the grimoire is a secondary weapon. So yeah, Tome Mods, probably gonna have to spend a bit of time to get all of them. How hard could it be? Yeah. Now, before we get into the builds and strats for AFK farming these things, for those who haven't found out about Tome Mods or would like to know more, like are they important, or should I even care about them, well, you can think of Tome Mods as something similar to Umbra Mods, but limited to tome type weapons, which currently means the grimoire. They appear under a separate tab on the mod menu screen. If you don't particularly think the new grimoire is a decent weapon worth bothering about, some of these mods do still seem quite potent, and it would be convenient to have these on hand for when better, stronger tome type weapons get added to the game in the future. I mean, we haven't seen another assault saw since the ghoul saw, I guess, but any sort of convenience you can gain or build up in this game would certainly go a long way to reducing the stress from having to grind all the time. Kinda like the convenience you get from using a storefront like Green Man Gaming. Now, why would I go to a third-party site instead of buying my games on Steam, Mr. Melon? Well, Green Man Gaming's been in the business for over a decade and sources their game keys directly from publishers, cutting off any unnecessary middlemen, meaning you get to support your favorite game devs while also having the option to activate on a variety of platforms. They've got easy to follow guides for all of them. There's also regional pricing, which is something you still don't find on some of the big name launchers, and personally, I've noticed that AAA game prices often go for a tad below the prices I see on Steam, at least for my specific region. With the recent Steam pricing debacle, maybe it is worth checking out Green Man Gaming for your next game. Feel free to use the links in the description for additional discounts. Honestly, even just clicking the link helps out. See what they got on sale over there today. Right, yeah, Tome Mods. Where do you get them? There's a total of 8 Tome Mods, and they all drop as Rotation C rewards on Munyo Demos, the new mirror defense type mission, at a rate of, get ready for this, 5%. Fortunately, Rotation C isn't diluted with a bunch of garbage, but it'll probably be stock full of endo by the time you get all the Tome Mods. Farming for these things is gonna feel like farming for that friggin' Hespar part again. In this case, you're also gonna be hard limited in terms of time-based rotations, meaning no amount of skill is going to speed up the reward drops. 20 minutes per 5% chance at the Tome mod you want is what you're going to have to go through if you decide to not spend any amount of plat. There's also an alternate way of getting these without spending any plat, kind of, but people don't tend to like that suggestion, so I'll just mention it a little later. Now, while you can't exactly AFK farm for the Tome mods, as the mirror defense mission requires you to move from one point to another, you can get pretty close to effortless. The Mesa build from that Hespar farming guide video I made a while back will work just fine for this. It's basically a peacemaker setup with Ivara's arrow subsumed for invisibility, which is kinda necessary here as the enemies aren't as dangerous. Also keep in mind that pressing 4 will not delete the wardens, those evil triangles, as one arm will remain untargeted for some reason. A Gloom Protea works terrifically well for this mission too. Here's the build. The general idea with the setup is just to get Dispensary going for energy first and foremost, then turn on Gloom, preferably with the unique ability strength boost, and then just stand there watching enemies make super duper slow baby steps towards the giant eyeball. It's funny watching some of these guys look as if they're taking a nap when you knock them down. But Mello, I don't want to use female frames. Nobody says that, by the way, but if you want another alternative, Sevagoth with either Ember's Fire Blast or Gas's Thermal Sunder subsumed would be a pretty easy setup. Personally, I find a Thermal Sunder to be superior for the use case of mirror defense. The enemies here aren't exactly super high level Steel Path units, and there's no extra reward for kill counts. All you gotta do is make sure the Vitrium's health is a positive value and just wait it out. Now, that alternative method, it's pretty obvious, and some of you do this already, but over the years I've seen some players just not want to or can't spend any plat, and I always tell them when it comes to farming for mods or gear with super low drop rates, just buy them with plat by selling prime parts for plat. Simple, but some people need coercing to make that first jump. Luckily, the Tome Mods collection is available for 140 plats, which you can perhaps easily gain by selling prime parts for the new Gauss Prime, which will come out in a couple of days. Right, if this video was helpful, I'd appreciate you letting me know, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so through Ko-Fi or the Super Thanks feature here on YouTube. There should also be an ultra-wide version of this video available to Patreon members, alongside a bunch bunch of other cool benefits like having your name shown at the end of every video. Check out all the stuff in the description or click on one of the other videos here to watch more.